What's up, yo? This is Rom, back at it again with yet another smartphone couch video. Many men really need to develop street smarts. Many men, seriously. And I thought about this the other day because there was a comment and it was in the video. I think I had love in the title. I think it was that 304 not loving you video, and he was saying, well, how can you tell if a woman really love you? You know, they could, any woman can say that. And I said, shit, use some street smarts. Look at her actions. Let me be clear on something. Street smarts don't mean you on some thug shit, because you definitely learn some stuff there, but they don't mean you're a thug or hanging out, drinking on the corner or anything. It means you're interacting with people. That's all streets mean. Do you interact with people in public? Now, you will get a lot more street smarts when you out of bad neighborhoods and stuff because, well, you got to stay alive. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to be able to read people like this. You know, that's why I always said, people who came from like bad neighborhoods, like rough areas and stuff, they automatically red pilled. Because you see everything. Street smarts just mean you seeing the social side of life and you have some intelligence in navigating that social side. Because a lot of people don't have it. Like, I'll give you a great example. Cults. Those religious cults, people get caught up. There's been studies that said the people who usually get caught up are actually more book smart. They got those high IQs and stuff, but they don't know how to deal with people. Because that's all it is. It's how to deal with people, how to manage in the streets, how to walk a certain way, how to carry yourself. Like a lot of people have said, commented on my walk or something. And somebody even said, well, can I teach you? Can you teach me to walk? No, the only way you're going to learn it is you go in a rough area and you learn how not to make yourself a target. I walk in such a way so somebody, if they thinking about it, they say, nah, not him, he ain't worth it. Because in fact, you get some people, they get robbed all the time or something, they're just giving off that vibe. Because street smart is basically is interacting with people, is reading people, reading their social cues, like reading their intentions, being able to look in their eye and figure out something. That's all it is. Because if you look at it, that's all it is. It ain't, like I said, it don't mean you're a thug or something. It means you could probably operate in that area because you're reading the people as you're going along. And then you can have that conversation. That's part of it too. How do you talk to people in the streets? How do you talk to people when you're out? How do you interact with people? That's street smarts. That's it. It's not anything that you can read in a book. That's why I always say, take your ass outside if you got a problem with that. Interact with people. Go through take your time, go through some rough areas. Seriously. Because if you go, seriously, that's why I say, like, in the rougher areas, yeah, they're going to have it. Because anytime you talk to somebody who came out of, like, a really bad area, jacked up environment, what they might lack in, like, school grades, supposed IQ points, anything of that nature, they make up for it because they look at somebody, look them up and down. In fact, some of the least educated people I've met in life, they just look at somebody. That's street smarts. They'll tell them up and down what's up with them and everything. That's why it's like, I always say, be authentic. You don't know who's just checking you out. Or if you don't want to do all that, shoot. I remember somebody said, I think it was a basketball coach, Al Michaels. He said the best education is 4 years in college, 6 months as a bartender, another 6 months as a cab driver. And they're going to have it because you're going to deal with all types of people. Shoot, you talk to some Uber drivers or something, I guarantee if they didn't have any street smarts, they did, because you're dealing with all types of folks. You're dealing with all types of situations. You're going to deal with somebody who's going to give you that look like they're going to kill you. You're going to deal with somebody who's going to be super friendly. You're going to deal with somebody who's going to probably look at you and lie to your face about what's up. Like I mentioned before, like there's a local grocery store. This dude in there, I know he don't like me. Even though he's polite when he's providing services. He's always been polite. But the reason why I'm reading him, because while he talking, I'm looking at his facial expression. I'm looking at his eyes. That's street smarts. And anybody can develop it. It's not some magic or something. Now, some people going to develop it automatically because of where they living at, because they're going to have to if they want to survive, unless they grow up sheltered. And I'm going to get into that and that shelter thing in a second. But they're going to develop it. Now, if you want to develop it, okay, maybe get a job where you're in a public contact position. Get a sales job or something. Seriously, get something. Go say, you know what, get a part-time job as a bartender, or get a part-time job as a server at a restaurant. Anything where you have to interact with people. Actually, a bartender or someplace where people are drunk or something. That's probably one of the best places, the quickest lessons, because people, when they get some alcohol in them, that's like a truth serum. You want to see what somebody is about, put some alcohol in them. You're going to see what their nature is. It's going to come out because all their masks come down. All their masks come down. Now, like I said, you get some people, they might not have it, because one of the saddest things, you got some people out here, they were sheltered or whatever. And they actually the biggest targets for players, male or female. Because they didn't interact. They didn't go out. It don't have to be in a rough neighborhood. Like I said, it don't have to be in a rough neighborhood. It could be just in a regular middle class neighborhood. Are you interacting? And I've never failed to see it. That's why I will ask people, do you go outside? Or somebody say something, oh, I don't agree with what you say. And I say, what street you from? They can't answer. They either don't answer or say something that's they in some place where there's not hardly any people. You know? In fact, I've known an elder. He said he learned a lot of game because he grew up in the country. He was raised in the country. But then when he would visit relatives that were in Baltimore, a rough area, he said he noticed like how he interacted with women and everything, and how he carried himself was just totally different. He was developing some street smarts. Like I said, it's not totally about like being a thug or something. They just have it. In fact, let me use that thug thing for a second. A lot of guys always talking about Pookie and Ray Ray and shit. Pookie and Ray Ray. One of the things they got is street smarts. They know how to interact. I've seen a bunch of Pookie and Ray Rays holler at some women in the street. I've heard like, I remember I was on it. It was actually up in New York. I was there with a young lady I was going out with at the time. And we were on one of the subways going someplace, right? And there was a straight thug on the train. He was just a straight thug. And we heard how he was talking with somebody else, but then he saw this young lady want to talk to. His whole speech, intonation, and everything changed up for her. Now, I don't know if he got a number. We got her off the train, but everything changed. But that was just some street smart shit, because one of the reasons they'll have is they interacting with women on a different basis. You know, because that's part of it too. How are you going to interact? You know, a lot of guys think they can talk to a woman the same way they talk to a man. You know, I remember somebody peeped that. I'd never forget, this manager at a gym peeped that about me when I was working. And this was like a regional manager, because I was a part of a gym chain where I was working. And he said he noticed how I would speak to the fellas, but then he heard me talking to a lady. He said, you know, your voice intonation changed. I was like, yeah. You know? Because that's part of it too. In fact, Master Teacher BGS picked up that about me early on, because he knows how I would change my look and how I spoke and everything depending on what I was talking about in the video. That just came from how I came up. That's why you can drop me any place. I can roll any place on the planet, and give me a couple hours, probably less than that, and I'll just like really fit in like I've been there all along. But that's street smarts too, being able to adapt to whatever environment you're in. And like I said, a lot of dudes just lack that shit, and you need that, not just even just to get women, just to really survive, man. It's crazy out here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Shoot, sometimes you gotta give that look. Sometimes you gotta give that murder walk. Sometimes you gotta let them know, nah, not me. And then sometimes you might have to shift it up depending on where you at. You might have to be I'll just say a softer stance. You might be in certain environments. So you got to adapt. You got to read the environment. You got to know how to deal with people. And like I said, a lot of guys don't got it, don't have it. The best way to learn it, I'm gonna tell you what. Like if you you didn't grow up in that environment or something, and where you had to develop it or live a certain place, I would say the best way, even no matter what your job is, maybe work in um, I would say a more poor area, or hang out there, just find something to do. Shoot, just go there, get your hair cut, and just sit in the barber shop and just listen to how the fellas talk. You can learn a lot. And then just practice, just interact, how you speaking to people and everything. Like learn to keep your head on the swivel, pay attention to everything. You know? Like even when I moved here and stuff, I was checking this place out for months before I even came over here. First thing I was doing was looking at folks. I was looking at, okay, all right, how they look. Just like, okay, yeah. Can I just walk casually, or am I have to do the murder walk? You know, can I be Professor Rom over here, or do I gotta be Car Rom, even if I'm just taking my trash out? I mean, seriously, I was looking around. And a lot of people got to develop that. It takes you a long way, because the reality in life, everything is about relationships and how you interact with people. Because trust me, everybody's looking at you, just like you should be just keeping your eyes out, looking at everybody. Shoot. And even one trick, even when I'm walking around, I might walk down the street past somebody. I might just look back just real quick. I keep my head on a swivel. And that's part of it, interacting with people. And it can only come with practice. A book's not gonna tell you anything. A book might give you some basics, but it's kind of like the same thing with reading. You could read 100 books on sex, right? If you're a virgin, you can read 100 books on sex, and they tell you all the positions, the A spot, G spot, clitoris, the reflexology points in a woman or something. And all that shit go out the door when you actually have sex with a woman. All that shit go out the door. You be like, oh shit. But that's the same thing, man. You gotta get out there and just learn. Learn to read people. Learn when somebody looking you in the eye and bullshitting you. Yeah, they got some books and they can tell you some basics, but you still got to practice it. I've talked to, in my most recent thing, reading First Encounters with Women. I talked a lot about that, reading a woman's body language. That's part of that. I learned that through Street Smarts, reading her body language and stuff, how she's standing, how she coming towards you, just knowing oh, okay, I can get her number. No, I can't get her number. Oh, she ain't feeling me. She ain't want to hug me or something. Oh, she feeling me. She grinding on me. Little stuff like that. So, so here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. Develop it. You got to. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. I don't care. Yeah, you got some guys talking about, they want a looks max and a money max, but what good is all that shit? What good is it all if you can't talk to a woman? And indeed, I talked about women playing a man yesterday, right? A lot of guys get played because they don't have those street smarts. They can't see that woman taking them, bullshitting them. They're straight bullshitting them, pushing all the buttons and everything, And then some guys, they believe whatever. Think, oh, I can get it in a book, or this was happening. It's like, please. Shit. And then as you get better at it, it makes it easier and easier. So anyway, though, I guess I'm gonna hit y'all with something tomorrow. I started hit y'all with it today, but I hit y'all with something ball bad. It's gonna fuck up the whole. Oh, it's gonna fuck up a lot of people's heads. A lot of guys who trying to teach one thing on here, it's cracking me up. I'm still looking at this thing now. It's something I've been saying before, but let's put it like this, y'all. Because Rom can get into some metaphysics. Between now and my birthday, I'll be going straight dark side. Kali Ma. Anyway, I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.